Hey everybody, it's Travis Holzem with Food Foret Design Solutions, and it's a Saturday afternoon and going to be starting a new install on Monday in Roberts, Wisconsin, and I will be taking pictures and video every day I am out there. It's only going to take a few days tops, 3 days tops. I am doing this is phase one of the design that was finished. There's a lot more to be done, but that's going to be done, that's going to be completed next spring, because it's a big job. There's going to be 300 or over 300 trees, plants, and vines in this, and berry bushes in this design when it's all completed. And what I'm going to be starting Monday is a 600-foot L shape along the property line, 6 feet inside the property line. I'm going to be planting out a windbreak, and it's going to be a mixture of Norway spruce. I think I have 8 of those. Actually, in the front of the property, where the L shape starts, on the side border of the property, is going to be 20 feet of sunflowers. It's going to be a big wall of sunflowers, about 20 feet long and about 4 feet wide. And I'm planting right now I have 3 different types of sunflowers, and then I'm going to seed the rest. So there's going to be sunflowers everywhere. So I got 20 starts to get it going, and they can get established before before the ground freezes, and the seeds will have a chance to get some roots. And then we're going to cover all that for the winter so it survives, and then they'll come back next spring. And so sunflower wall, and then we're going to go 300 feet along the side, and we got chestnut, butternut, we got autumn blaze maple, we got red maple, I said Norway spruce, and then we got a hybrid poplar and white pine. I think that's all of them. Oh, and red chokeberry. There's going to be 4 or 6 red chokeberries and mixed in with there. So it's going to be 600 feet of trees along the 2 sides of the property. So it's going to eventually it will be a really nice windbreak, and got some really nice colorful trees for in the fall. That was the goal, to have a lot of color. And wait till you see the rest of the design. I will have a link to the design in the portfolio of my website. When I post the videos and the images of this install on my website, I will have the design on there. And wait till you see the food forest. It's going to be enclosed by a deer fence, and it's going to be 100 feet long by 75 feet wide. And it's going to contain a food forest with the entire inside of the fence line is going to be vining plants, and they're going to vine. I think I'm going to build trellises just to keep them off of the fence, because some of those vines can get pretty heavy and they can rip a fence down in the wind, because they get so thick and they're so heavy, and once the wind starts blowing, it can wreck a fence, especially with kiwi, because they can get really heavy. So possibly build a trellis in front of the fence for extra support for some of the different vining plants, because it is metal and plastic. It's 25-year heavyweight PVC plastic that you zip tie to the posts. It's an amazing fence. It's perfect for deer. It's 8 feet high, and it's almost invisible in the landscape. It's crazy. You get 20 feet away and you barely see the fence there, and you see everything. You don't lose your view of your landscape. So you can have a beautiful food forest, beautiful landscape with the fence around it, and you can still see it without any problems. It's amazing how that works. But I'm gonna turn you around. I'm just about to water these, and I'm just getting started getting these trees together. Like I said, I got over 50 to plant, and I think I got, see, 20 sunflowers, and then I got an apple tree, and then 8 Norway spruce, and then, oh yeah, besides that, I'm planting 6 fruit trees. So 3, there's 4 there, sorry. There's gonna be 6 guilds, 3 pear trees and 3 apple trees, and they're gonna have 12-foot diameter guilds around each tree. And in those guilds, I'm going to sheet mulch for weed suppression. Okay, I'm going to lay cardboard down, cut the grass as short as I can, and lay cardboard over it. And I'm going to put 4 inches to 5 inches of garden soil and compost mix over the top of that cardboard, and then over the top of that mulch, or that compost and garden soil, I'm going to put 5 inches of chip mulch, wood chips, from a local tree company that has 200 cubic yards of chips in a lot. So we just go pick them up and we'll be able to use them, and that's our live mulch and help build soil. So yeah, and in those guilds, sorry, in the guilds, I'm gonna have comfrey, wild strawberry, chives, clover for a ground cover, and what's the other thing in there? Yarrow. Gonna have around the edges, gonna have yarrow and clover around the edges. Gonna be like a pie. Let's say you take a 12-foot diameter pie, and then we're gonna take yarrow and put 6 yarrow around the outside, and in between the yarrow we're gonna put patches of clover, and then we're gonna go closer to the center where we're gonna plant our comfrey around that 12-foot diameter. And then in there we're gonna get our chives and our wild strawberries. And wild strawberries, once you put them in the ground, they're gonna grow themselves. I got 50 of them, so split that between 6 guilds, and by the time fall comes around, the plants are probably gonna double or triple, because they're gonna have runners that are gonna, they already have runners on them. I have a bunch of starts, but they have runners coming off of them already, so those are new plants. So they just run off and then they root themselves, and that's how they spread. So next spring, when that thing all gets, it's going to grow together, and all those plants working together help that fruit tree in the middle thrive. Okay, because a fruit tree's roots do not go very deep, but some of the other, like comfrey, goes way deep down in the soil, and it gets the nutrients out of the soil that the other trees with the short roots cannot get to. So what happens is comfrey takes up all those minerals and all those nutrients in its leaves and its trunk and its branches, and then and it gets these purple flowers that attract big ass bumblebees. They're the hugest bumblebees you ever see, man. It's crazy. I've never seen a small bumblebee around comfrey. But But then once it gets full size, you chop it and you let it go. You use it as mulch around your fruit trees, and the nutrients from the comfrey leaves, branches, flowers, all that stuff goes right into the top of the soil where the fruit tree can get at it, and the rest of the plants in that guild can get at those nutrients that it normally doesn't have access to because their roots are so short. But so 6 guilds, 600 feet of windbreak trees, and then next spring is going to be the food forest, an herb spiral from stone on the property. There's a bunch of big boulders and stone, and I'm going to use those and build an herb spiral behind the house. And then eventually there's going to be a pond, and I'm going to build, in the food forest there's going to be a picnic table to sit at with a trellis for goji berries, a goji berry trellis in the center of the food forest. And then outside the food forest on the back of the property is going to either be a gazebo or a pergola. I suggest a pergola because it's a lot cheaper. Some of them gazebos can get up $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 if you want a nice gazebo. And I don't know, I guess some people want a nice one like that. But otherwise, the least expensive way to go is a pergola, and then you can put a brick patio